All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of For the Most Part podcast. I hear look trying to sound like a radio host because I talking to a man who does run a radio station.
That sound like
Heights.
yourself.
You understand?
That
Heights.
sound
Heights.
original Kimmy.
Yeah, true, true. Guys, welcome back to this week's episode. And we have with us, obviously, this guy has been on last season. Yeah, it was last season, season 4. He joined us and we were talking about like live streaming and basically like radio play, and we kind of want to go a little deeper into that aspect of things this time around. So Regan, welcome back. How things going? How
Thank
first
you
of
for
all,
having me.
how's the radio going out there?
It's good, it's good, it's good. A lot of new music. I've been busy downloading a whole bunch of new stuff.
Nice.
And it's amazing music, man. I'm loving all the new soca that's coming out now. Look, we haven't even hit Parang yet, man. I ain't even hit the Christmas side yet because
Hey.
unlike Trinidad, I just kind of run since we're Baltimore based. I kind of run I run soca past Thanksgiving, and which is end of November. Then I go into my Parang and stuff because we have that season. See, Trinidad really, we don't do Thanksgiving and all that stuff in Trinidad. So
yeah. So we paranging all now.
Right,
All now
so
we
start, what I mean? But like over here, they still have people fetting. A lot of the soca artists are touring over here now, so people want to hear the music. So
okay.
So we've been kind of abreast on that. A lot of the that new Afro sound, from our the Afro soca and all that stuff.
Yeah,
all that's in there now. So yeah.
So and that's kind of what we want to talk about. That's what we want to talk about, which is how is that Afro soca, Afro-beats affecting the radio play for you as somebody who has your own station, and what are the listeners wanting to listen to?
Well, I think the listeners like the mix. They like we as Caribbean people, we love to blend. We love to mix and blend. You know what I mean?
Hallelujah.
Yes, in everything, the food, the shoot the children we having. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, true, no, very true.
Everybody
very,
mix and
very
blend.
True.
It's like you ask kids these days, where you is originally Indian? Boy, I mix up. But it's the same thing with the music, the Afro. So, it reminds me of rap. So it reminds me of all the other little things we had before that we mixed into it. A lot of people, and I've heard it here, you can't just play soca. You can't. The Americans out here, you can't just play soca. How does a soca DJ transition into different genres while mixing? And we can do it. And I think we're versed in doing it. Trinidad DJs, ever since I was growing up, I know we'll go through a R&B session, and then we hit a hip hop session, and then boom, we hit reggae, and then we back into soca, and then we hit soca, and we vice versa. We can switch up, switch up and down.
All like a mixtape.
Yes, but a lot of American DJs are not good at that. They can't do that. What we do. You know what I mean? We have that rhythm in our soul that we could pull it out. And the Afro soca now, the Afro beats and all that stuff is just right up our alley. It right there with the reggae, right there with that once we have that good drum and bass, that good drum vibe, it's there. We've always had a little bit of, we've always had African culture growing up in Trinidad with Best Village, Holly Bitodia, and them kind of thing. So we've been faced with the Shango drums and all them kind of things. So it's been in our bloodstream. In fact, I think soca itself comes from part of that. You know what I mean? Rashotia introduced the soca, and he introduced soca music because he took the calypso rhythm and blended it with the Indian rhythm, and that created soca music. And it's just that now it's we're creating another branch of our genre, which is soca.
Yeah. So one question I have is, how would you compare your radio station, which is soca based, Trini based, that nice Callaloo, to the other American radio stations and what they're playing, and how different types of music is being received. Is soca being played there too? Is Afrobeats being played in the regular mainstream radio? Or
so we have the major station out here, at least in Maryland, in Baltimore here, is 92Q. Shout out to 92Q. They play mostly hip hop, mostly R&B, stuff like that, So there was once, I think, for a short, maybe a half an hour, I've heard they had a reggae session where they dropped a bunch of dancehall, boom, 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 and then back into the R&B scene again. So that's what, they don't expand. Versus Trinidad radio station, my radio station, where we hear everything, you know what I mean? So it's like in Trinidad, it's like a lot of people, you playing soca music all the time, and it's like, well, how you know that American song? How you know about Cardi B? How you know about this one? We play everything down there. People don't understand, they think it's only wherever you go, that's the only music you play and listen to. No, it's Trinidad radio is diverse. You know that. Listening to Trinidad radio, we play everything. So it's one of those things like up here, unfortunately, stateside, they only play American stuff. They only play not only, well, I shouldn't say American stuff. They only play what's hot to them.
Right.
Even British, when the British music, like we have British rap, we have British pop and British
like trap and stuff.
Like top 40 music and stuff like that. In Trinidad, we had, you have countdowns where we had back in the day, was it Hennessy 100? I think that was it. Right. We had different things we listening to, and we were exposed to so many different types of music from all over the world. Whereas here stateside, they tend to be a little more narrow-minded, and it's only their style, like, and that's it. So, but I still tend to listen to all the different things, even news, like the news here, like the news clips or feeds you would hear on the radio would only be American based, whereas the one that I have on TriniSpice FM, I have BBC News, so it's BBC, it's American, it's almost all different,
everything
all over the world, right? Things that happen in India, things that happen in Russia, all them kinds of places, That is the news we want to hear. That's the news I grew up hearing. That's what I want to know. What's going on in the world?
Yeah.
Right.
We're not just interested in just one thing. We want to hear what's going on.
Right.
Everywhere.
Well, I hope I answered the question. I hope I wasn't rambling too much.
No. This is good. This is good.
Right.
Which actually kind of leads me to my next question, kind of, sort of, somewhat, because right before we started, we were talking about like parang, and what I want to find out is, I am curious as to how well parang is going to survive in the Christmas season with the current hype with trap, hip hop, and Afro-beats. What is your thought on that? Because right now I can tell you, I know a couple of parang sides that probably prepping a little. They incorporating a little Burna Boy. Yeah, they put in a little Burna Boy and they put in a Twisted.
A little bit of last minute.
Yeah.
Hey, and that's the thing, right? That's what Trinidad do. That's what as Caribbean people, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We mix and blend. We're trying to come up. We're always trying to be innovative with everything that we do.
Yeah.
And it's to have fun. So I'm excited for the parang. I'm expecting to hear really cool stuff. I look forward to artists like Rome. Rome is, I love the stories he tells and how funny he is. It's, you know what I mean? It's stuff where the kids can enjoy it. And it'll be great to see, at least Carnival coming up. We have a bunch of the new, we'll have, we're like, for example, I think Machel right now has a show coming up. I'm not sure where. I think it's in Miami somewhere. But I think it's him and Burna Boy together. Right. So we're already doing anything. We're already doing that, and we're doing it live. You know what I mean? So who knows? We'll have a bunch of clashes. We have a bunch of
collabs too.
Collabs, yeah. I mean, like Kes already had that collab with I forgot her name. On that song, Soca Love, Soca for Love.
When we remember earlier, we'll put the name in the description.
But I forgot her name. But she sings alongside. She duet with Kes, and she's from Africa. and that was a beautiful
Oh.
song. Right, it was a
Mm.
beautiful song, "Soca for Love." So that we already started. We
Yeah.
already started,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it's exciting. We just got to sit back and wait for it to happen. I don't see anything negative coming from it. That's only positive. But I'll be interested to hear if somebody says something negative about it.
Yeah. 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 I see it on the name for this Cass song, what Scotch, Bonnet, Cass, and Lyra.
Lyra, that's what's her name.
Lyra,
That was her name,
right,
Lyra.
right, right.
Right.
I mean, I've heard some of the new stuff, so it's
Right.
just that the names don't stick for me,
Yeah, and Lyra
unfortunately.
apparently was African singer. I've never heard of her before until
Right.
the Kes song. And
Wow.
that was something else. And look, is like Kes touched on African artists then, which was like a year or two ago that song came out,
Yeah.
and now he's into the French part where he's with Jay Perry. He has Jay Perry on the Licky Ticky with so
Yeah.
he keeps dabbling with all these new artists and stuff like that, and that's pretty good. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Marshall now
Yeah.
with Burna Boy. I wouldn't be surprised if Marshall and Burna Boy have a song later on.
Because I was not gonna ask you what you think is gonna be the impact of this whole Afro-beats phenomena. I don't want to call it a phenomena really, but that's the one word that I can describe it, because for years Afrobeats has just been there. It's been popular, it's been around, people have been listening to it, but
Right.
now it's just like
Overpowering.
hit song.
Hit song.
And
I think it's where we accepted it. We're accepting it more. Our artists are accepting it more. We
yeah,
realize there's love in the music. It's just the love for the
yeah,
music, and it to me, bringing different genres together, like French music with English music with us. It just shows love, unity. We could have
yeah,
unity in music. We should have unity in the world. You know what I mean? It's things like that.
yeah. Because what I was gonna say was that a lot of the other unknown artists who do the Afrobeats too, they are literally, people are listening to their stuff now, and
Right. I know that my name.
yeah, exactly. They were not popular before, they were not famous before,
Nope.
but now they are they are top of the charts, 1.2 million views on YouTube and all
Right.
sorts of things.
And they probably soon will become a genre. You never know.
Yeah.
It's the same with soca. I mean, I think now soca is also in that place where we've been knocking at the door for so long, but now we're finally in the door. We're finally in the door, and we have people who have no affiliation with the Caribbean just loving soca music. I've noticed one young lady out in Florida who listens to TriniSpice FM the whole time. I could have swore she knew some type of Caribbean background or anything. No, she just loves the whole soca vibe and just digs soca music. She plays the station every day. She hits me up all the time, and I was like, wow. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe how she's, all she wants to hear is DJ Anna. All she wants to hear is like DJ Puffy, stuff like that. So it's like, wow. She sends me a request. I said, well, I can't play them again because they already played.
Right.
Keep listening.
Wow.
So it's amazing,
cool.
how we are getting out there. We are out there, so
yeah, for real. So what advice should you give to anybody? Rather, it doesn't have to be a musician. It could be somebody who getting into the radio, online radio, or if it's actual licensed radio, whatever the case may be. How was your advice? Because from what I understand, you want to have an even airplay with different kinds of songs and genres and that kind of thing. What should we do?
I would, my first key piece of advice is don't play what you like, but also play what you like. It's one of those things where you have to, even though you're playing what you like to hear as a person, as a DJ or whatever, you play what you like. Also be open to new stuff, because you might be surprised. They might have an artist out there that you ain't feeling the vibe, you're not feeling the music.
True.
But you put that out there, and the request for that song just takes off, and you're like, what the hell? What is people listening to in this song? You know what I mean? And it's one of those but you just have to have an open mind. Because like us here at TriniSpice FM, that's what we do. We try to, anybody sends us stuff, we just, all right, just put it in a rotation, we'll put it in there, see if they like it, and pretty much people it starts getting played, it starts getting popular, people start hearing it over and over, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, this is a hell of a song, I can't wait to hear this again. And it's one of those things where you can get your music heard.
Right.
But you have to be, as a radio station, you can play what you want. If you wanted to play what you like, get the CD, get the the MP3s or whatever. But if you want to hear variety, that's what, to me, radio is what radio should be, to expose you to new stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, rather than just being I don't want to say a particular radio station in Trinidad and Tobago, but that one radio station where they only playing everything that does not belong to here.
Right, like as DJ Gel would say, you only hearing 15 songs in rotation.
Yeah.
The same 15 songs playing over and over, So
yeah.
It's one of those things where, yes, you will hear songs in rotation on mine. You'll hear it more than once, the popular ones, but you will hear new music. You will hear new music at some point, somewhere mixed in there. You will hear an artist you never heard about. It might be somebody who hasn't made it yet, and you hear their stuff, because that's what I tend to do. If you want exposure, man, I throw you up there, man. As long as your stuff clean, I'll pop it on there. Hey, if that's how I can contribute to helping your career, I'll do that. You know what I mean? As long as your stuff catchy,
Listen, guys, the man has spoken. He said if all your stuff is catchy. I mean, and all that really goes to say is that as long as you're creative and you're original and you're working hard and putting out your stuff and you're aiming towards the good quality stuff, it will get played. It'll reach somewhere, somehow, at some point. And on that note, Regan, I will send you some parang stuff, because the band, we kicking off for the season and we've already had some recordings done. So
no problem.
If you're looking for things to play in rotation,
content, all about the content. Send it.
Exactly.
Oh, in my Trinidad saying, fling ting, man, fling ting.
Right. Well, guys, I think I have to say thanks to Regan for taking time out of his busy schedule.
No problem. I love anything to be on the show, for the most part, No pun intended.
No pun intended. Yeah, I've gotten a few of those. Unfortunately, people can't get away from the name now. So
right.
But nonetheless, guys, thanks for watching. Regan, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
And tell the people where they can find you. You plug away the website, the app, the everything. Tell us where they can find you.
Yeah, so you could. We're basically on almost every platform so far now. That plays radio stations, you can find us on we have an app, it's free app on Google Play and on iOS.
Nice.
We also have an Amazon skills called TriniSpice FM, where you enable it on your Alexa devices or whatever.
Wow.
And once you enable it on your Alexa device, you could listen to TriniSpice FM streaming live. We stream live all the way through, For the people in the Caribbean and in Trinidad, the Go Loud app. Digicel has a Go Loud app, where we are one of the stations on there with all the other stations. We are one of the stations on there. You could find us there. That's the quickest and easiest way the Caribbean folks could find us. Is on the Go Loud app. I don't think Digicel charges for the app. I believe it's free.
Yeah, I believe it comes with your data plan or whatever the case.
Right. Yeah. But you could still download it, because I even have it downloaded on my phone. Just every now and again, I want to make sure it's running and stuff like that. But you could still just download the Go Loud app anyway. I actually played it in my car. I have this Android device that I plug into my car that streams Netflix and stuff.
Right.
Some gadgets I was playing around with. And I was able to download the Go Loud app on there, and it's one of the coolest ways to just swipe to a Trinidad radio station. So I'll be listening mine. I'll listen to, Boom Champions. I'll listen to a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
I'm doing research basically, but
yeah.
just to hear what they got.
Market research.
Exactly, but still jamming to the vibes. You know what I mean? And it's good. Because I never knew we had a station that played Parang 24/7. And I think it was in fact, I'll tell you right now real quick.
Yeah.
Because every time I go, it's on the station. Here's the Go Loud app right here. It says Go Loud. Let's see what's on here. Boom. Say. So going through the setup for reggaeton stuff. I don't know what is all these commercials. But anyway, it's that's a new station on the Capital. Let's see, it's 10. Look, I'm giving them a free plug. Free plug for this station here. Where is it? Sweet 100.1. I think that is it.
Yes.
And I
believe so.
And
oh yeah. Yes, man, we reach all there.
Right. And it's only that station for some reason, the whole year, all you're hearing is Parang. So if you're that Parang fanatic, boom, that's that station there for you on the Go Loud app. Did you say I just got your plug? So feel free to send me a free t-shirt or something.
Sponsorship or something.
Right. I ain't asking for much, a phone plan.
But that's all of the places that everybody can find you, right?
Yes. Even on our website, TriniSpiceFM.com.
Nice.
We stream on there too. You can minimize all little player in the bottom and your screen and go back and do what you're doing on your computer. So yeah, and you could reach out to us at TriniSpiceFM@gmail.com, where you send in your music and all that stuff. So I guess later on you'll put that down in the comments down there. But it's I don't have a TriniSpiceFM.com type thing yet. So far we're using Gmail, and Gmail has been working. So TriniSpiceFM@gmail.com, and you should reach us. Be able to send your music there, send us the MP3, send us the artwork. Definitely, I do a quick listen. I myself personally listen to the music, and then I'll drop it in there, as soon as I have some time.
Lovely.
Our podcast, that's right, our podcast is usually on there too. We have one podcast called TriniSpice FM Island Brunch.
Okay.
It's where we do a video thing. We try to interview artists, up and coming artists, as well as established artists. In fact, interestingly, my first the pilot show we did was Robbie Styles. And Robbie Styles, to a lot of people who don't know, is big with Parang. Robbie Styles came from Parang. You know what I mean? And it was great to pull him away from Kesteban and just focus and spotlight just him. And it was so much. And I think I want to continue trying to pull apart guys from the band besides
right.
Kes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Kes. But the background of the Soca Rios and all the rest of those guys, they have a lot of musical history, a lot of background. Robbie Styles, I never knew he was my hometown, Point 14. I didn't know he was from back down. He used to have a Parang band down there. I had no clue. I learned all this while on my podcast.
On the podcast, yeah.
Yeah. So feel free to listen to all of that on there. I have at least 2 or 3 American artists that has Caribbean background, where they sing hip hop and stuff like that. So they're on there too. I kind of I was trying to stretch out on that one. But you could find us anywhere. Even you can't find us anywhere, reach out to Kemi, and for the most part, they'll pass on my information for you,
I'm not stingy. I just say it.
Right. You may not send it right away because you're in the time, because there's so much we just do.
So much thing that's be going
right.
on.
But just reach out, all the Parang, all they want to say, any kind of music once you come pumping out to the Caribbean, are you good?
Lovely. Perfect.
Anything.
Perfect. We go send thing. And
yes,
we will, and of course, guys, I will forward stuff to TriniSpice FN and
right.
Content sharing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for this week's episode, guys. Again, Regan, thanks for joining us. And this was such a real powerful conversation, because I didn't realize that there's so much more to the United States radio play. But that's a topic for our next
podcast. And another podcast.
Next one.
But where the market research coming.
Exactly. So guys, that's it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see y'all and we will hear y'all on the next one, which is next week Friday at 8 p.m.
Yes.
Peace out, guys.